where to start from when I'm editing this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. I am here with Oliver because we decided to start a podcast together. It is very early in the morning for me. I am pretty tired because I stay up pretty late. This is our first episode, and it's just going to be a test episode. It's really more about having like an audio file to upload somewhere, so I understand how uploading works on different podcast sites. I did originally want to discuss broadly the theme of optimism. We don't have to do that. That's just, the idea. We just have to fill up about 15 minutes worth of airtime, so I have something to work with. How are you today, Oliver? Well,
Ups
okay,
and
no, I
downs,
was thinking
honestly.
like every episode, I'd be like, the first bit of it would be like, I just ask Oliver, like, hey, how are you? What's your 10 seconds to summarize, you know, what you've been up to or how you're feeling, and then that will make people like parasocially attached to you as they get to know you.
That makes sense. I think they should also be parasocially attached to you, so
Oh, that will just
um
happen. They'll listen to my dreamy voice, and
that's fucking true.
yeah,
So fucking true.
yeah.
Um yeah, I think my 10 seconds of like how I've been doing is basically bad.
Oh shit. Yeah. That's right. That's right. Oliver has been going through some stuff recently, but I think it's also I think the timing of our podcast is also fortunate in that, Oliver and I have something positive and creative to do.
Yeah, and I really like the idea and the title Optimism of the Will, and like it's never not relevant, honestly, to my personal life.
Do you know where that phrase comes from?
Is it Gramsci?
It is Gramsci. It is Gramsci. Yes. You're so well read. You're my clever guy.
I do my best.
Yes, it's pessimism of the intellect, but optimism of the will. And you're right, it is always relevant. I think the basis of any like political revolution on the left comes from this idea of like, being optimistic about humanity and believing that a better future is possible.
My pessimism of the will right now, or wait, pessimism of the intellect. My bad.
Yeah, pessimism.
God, I don't want pessimism of the will. That would be bad news.
It'd be bad news bears. Yeah.
I mean, I've been there before,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
I try not to.
Mm-hmm.
Would be that, I had my little experience working in the, I guess, like nonprofit industrial complex doing social work that was essentially just reputation laundering for, uh, like a big local corporation that issues mortgages. What's the verb I'm supposed to be using here? Not issues.
Um, I'm so sleep deprived. I'm sure I would know it. It,
Sells
it
mortgages.
sells mortgages. They mortgage mortgages.
They mortgage mortgages,
No, they Is there a word? I'm kind of blanking. I don't, because you
right?
sell a
Like
mortgage, do you not?
I don't know. But anyway, yeah, kind of
Issue a
having the.
mortgage.
Can
Sorry.
you hear Jack, by the way?
No, I can't. Can you hear that lawnmower
I'm like,
outside?
no.
Good.
Mm-mm.
Good.
And Discord also has like its own sound canceling stuff. So like if we are
Yeah.
recording, I don't know, we'll figure it out. It's a work in progress.
Yeah, well, we'll figure it out. And I have some cool editing tricks up my sleeve. It's going to sound great once we put it up on there.
I am like optimism is like a constant fucking
I heard him.
project, right?
I heard that down.
Right?
I heard the
For
meow.
real? Oh, you heard him that time. Okay.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
he's a very loud boy and he doesn't know what he wants.
Mood. Mood. I'm distressed and making it our problem.
So I actually probably should send a text really quick to somebody if that's okay. Also, our goal right now is to have a 15-minute workable thing
Yeah.
to upload
Yeah.
so that we can mess with like the websites.
Yeah. So we
Okay.
know this will literally be called episode like 0 when I post it.
Okay. Got you.
And then hopefully by around episode 5 or so, we'll have a much better flow at this. Okay, shoot your text and then I'll fill in the airtime while you're gone.
Okay, got you.
So as Oliver was saying, optimism is always relevant, especially when you're a leftist. I did unfortunately kind of go through a doomer period until I played at Disco Elysium, which has been actually an important milestone in my development as a leftist, just in terms of like really kind of solidifying my understanding of a lot of theory. The game has over 1 million words in it. Like it's a book. It's a dense book. More as much as it is a game. And I did a video essay on Disco Elysium. And really like kind of the big theme of the game was like, you should choose to be optimistic even in the face of defeat, even in the face of like like capitalist realism where you're at the end of history and capitalism is prevalent and everywhere. The quote from the game, I don't know if you recall, was, "When it is dark out, must the stars also go out?" And the answer was no. No, of course not. No. Because we're human beings. We're better than that. We're better than being doomers. There's always something to find hope in, whether it's your fellow comrades, whether it's the far off idea of even just the faint possibility of political revolution. There's always some way to put a positive spin on your situation, and that's just the best way going forward. It's the only way going forward that you're going to make real change, is if you believe change is possible.
I kind of feel like some people probably get some doomer vibes, I think, just taking away from the two students, like the socialist nerds,
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like the audience playing Disco Elysium can interpret those interactions in like two completely different ways. Like, I don't know. I guess on one hand, it's like, oh my god, the only people keeping socialism alive at all are like, they're fucking kids. They're just
Yeah.
sitting on their asses. But on
So
the other hand, it's
for
like,
context, in the game you find like a socialist reading club that pretends to be like, they're like very secretive, like they're an actual like political organization, but they're just kids who have like a reading club essentially. Sorry, go on.
I don't know. Whenever you encountered that, did you take optimism or pessimism from that aspect of the game? These characters.
You know how I read it initially? It was I've been on the political left for a while now, and once you hang out here enough, you will literally run into those two kids, that kind of personality online. Like, I have Facebook friends like that who are like just crazy deep into like obscure like Soviet theory, and they're like tankies where you will literally have arguments with them where you're like, okay, but how is it socialism if the workers didn't own the means of production in like China or like North Korea? And then they'll jump through these huge mental gymnastics, and it's like it's like this philosophical diarrhea of discussing to with these completely out of touch tankies, these online kids. I say kids, they're like 30, whatever. And there's lots of those little moments in the game where, like, if you've been a leftist for a while, you kind of recognize the interactions you run into, like when you run into like that racist truck driver just hanging out on the street. That's a real guy. That's just some racist bloke who has a completely incoherent ideology when you talk to him, or like talking to Measurehead. That's a unique experience of someone who spends too much time online, if you're a leftist, and and you get into these Twitter fights, these Twitter slap fights with these weirdos, these political weirdos online. So that's how I read it initially, just as like satire, basically.
You know, I like those kids. I'm a fan of those
You
kids.
like those kids?
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
cause there's two kids, and there's like the leader of the group, and then there's like his friend, and his friend is like, I keep trying to tell this guy like we should have like a normal, we should be at like a cafe or something where people can actually find us.
yeah, weren't they? So he was basically saying like we should like try to actually pull more people into this. Like if we actually want to like spread this ideology, right? And then the other one's more like I don't know, like ivory tower vibes about it. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
and then there's actually like kind of a third member, right? Like, isn't Cindy the skull? Like she drops in, right?
I think so. It's been a while since I played, actually, but
But I think it was like, oh, she doesn't really read the stuff. She just kind of
she
lives it.
yeah, she does her own thing.
Hmm.
She does her own thing. I love Cindy. She's one of my favorite characters in that game, actually.
Yeah, she's fucking awesome.
Yeah, she's just like talking shit, like mad shit to this cop. Yeah. So optimism is good, which is the cornerstone of our podcast. We have 2 minutes to fill, so
2 minutes. God damn. How do we do this?
no, we can. I think for episode 0, I think we're doing fine. I think
Yeah, we're doing amazing.
yeah, like I said earlier, around by the time we get to episode 5, I think we'll have like a really good flow to it, and hopefully like when my sleep schedule normalizes, like I stayed up all night, Oliver.
I saw at like 11 o'clock for me, it was like, Lauren, online 2 hours ago. And I'm like,
I'm so tired. I've become nocturnal. I don't, because you know what it is. It's like
mm.
I don't do anything during the day, and I get mad at myself. So I stay up to be like, no, I'm in control of my schedule. I don't even do anything late at night. I was listening to True Crime podcast before I came here, which
Can you teach me the appeal of true crime podcasts?
it's really like okay, maybe this is politically incorrect of me to say, but I my understanding of true crime, it has something of a rather large like female fan base, which might explain why you don't like it. I think the appeal of it from a feminine perspective is that it's this socially acceptable, like accessible way of for women to like indulge in violence.
Indulge in violence?
Yeah, yeah, because it's not
Really?
like violence has, I think, kind of certain like base appeal. For men, they get action movies, and for women, we get true crime.
I don't get action movies.
You don't get action movies. Okay,
No.
do you like monster trucks and like explosions? I don't know.
No. I'm
No,
not
but
that
it's
kind
like
of gay, I guess.
it's like it's like like little girls when they play with Barbies, like they have like oftentimes themes of like violence, but it's not like the kind of like boy violence where like they'll fight each other. It would be like, oh, she's like a jealous woman or something, and she poisons this guy.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, it would be like a completely like elaborate. I don't have data for this. This is literally like I'm quoting like Reddit threads I saw, but I feel like the gist of it is true. Okay,
Yeah, whenever
yeah.
oh,
Go ahead.
do we wanna end it there? I was gonna say
No, keep
whenever I
talking. I think we're in
played
a fun.
Barbies
Yeah,
with my sister,
yeah.
she would always get mad at me because I wasn't playing it right.
How are you not playing it right?
Well, I'd want to like bring different characters in, like not just Barbies. She wanted to play with just Barbies, but
Yeah,
I'd like bring in
yeah.
like whenever they had the Polly Pocket Pokemon,
Oh, gosh,
like I had a Pikachu that was literally like this big,
I don't remember
and
that. No.
oh, actually, I can show you. I can show you. Hold on.
Oliver is getting up to retrieve what I assume is a toy from his childhood. Is this still in its case? What?
Yeah, I guess DJ must have found this and she got it for me. Um, but it's Polly Pocket Pokemon,
Yeah.
and like, look how tiny they are.
Aw. So
And it
DJ
has
is
this,
Oliver's partner for the audience's context.
yes, this case. It's almost like a when you propose to someone, like a ring case, you know?
Yeah.
And then you can like open it up and there's like little palm trees and things like that can sit up like a 3D pop-up book, you know? And you can play with your little guys in there.
Huh.
Yeah, but I'd try to bring these little guys to the Barbie game
Yeah.
and my sister would get really mad.
That's great. Well, Barbie's for everyone. Why shouldn't Pokemon be in the Barbie universe?
Yeah, and fucking Pokemon is for everyone too. I really don't get it because like she liked Pokemon too, so I don't know what her problem was.
Pokemon's for everyone. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. Yeah. Um, you know, if I had to guess, she was probably expressing some kind of like power fantasy through Barbie, and she didn't want it intro spoiled rather with Pokemon.
Yeah, maybe. Hmm.
Like she's probably imagining her life as like a NASA scientist or whatever Barbies are at that time. Um, and you just no self-respecting high-powered woman would have a Pokemon in that situation, right?
I don't think that's true. I think
I'm just
powerful
speaking from her
women.
point of view. I'm not obviously I would be
Well,
very pro Pokemon. I'm
yeah,
very
Tim was just
interested in it.
fucking
Yeah.
wrong about this,
Yeah.
honestly. I mean, like we were raised Catholic, so what
Yeah.
what do I expect, you know?
Yeah.
Gets y'all confused in the noggin.
Any if it brought you joy, it was sinful, obviously. Okay.
Got to talk about that in confession.
Okay. I think that was a pretty strong start to our podcast, episode 0.
Oh yeah.
Obviously the next ones are gonna be like longer, and we'll have proper discussions about things, and hopefully I won't be exhausted. Um,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, I was thinking we should have like a sign off when we finish our podcast. Like maybe we have
Yes,
like a
we should.
catchphrase. As I was thinking, we could say like from the Disco Elysium game, we could just be like Sunshine Parabellum. But I don't know if that sounded just cooler in my head than it would in real life.
It's often like a couple of brief sentences, right? Where it's like, well, anyways, wrapping up, burr, 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 you know?
Is it sentences? I haven't listened to that many podcasts. I don't know. Because for my YouTube channel, I just boot
Sentence or
people's
two.
snoots.
And maybe you're right. Maybe there should be like some kind of song. I don't know though.
A song?
Also, I have a question.
What? What's up?
Um, the question is,
Yeah.
where are you uploading at? What's this website called?
Oh, yeah. So it's gonna hit people's RSS feeds. So Apple Podcasts and then Spotify, because that's basically where every podcast listener is. Where do you listen to podcasts? I'll upload it there too.
Uh,
And
I
then
was actually
sorry, go ahead.
I was using the fucking like Google Podcast and they got rid of it
Yeah, they
because
got
no
rid
one
of it.
uses it. I
Yeah, I was
guess.
surprised. It's like, remember when they made Google Hangouts and they were trying to push that?
Yeah, nobody fucking used that shit either.
Literally, the executive team at Google did not have their own Google Plus account. That's how unpopular it was.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Yeah, yeah.
That's funny as fuck.
I know it is. I don't know. So, what should our sign off be? What do podcasts usually do for a sign off? Should we say like Lauren and Oliver signing off? No, that's stupid.
I mean, a lot of the time sometimes it's like thanking, like, oh well that was it for today. I wanna give a thank you to whoever, or like here's like I don't know. I don't know. A lot of the time, there's like the call to action portion as well.
Oh yeah, we could say something like, and remember, spay and neuter your pets. No,
I
remember to
mean,
be
that's pretty
optimistic.
important. It's pretty important, but I don't know if it's necessarily
Yeah,
relevant.
no. Okay, always be optimistic. No, that's so lame.
ABC, always be coping.
Always be you know what? We'll figure out what our sign off will be. I'll work on it. You'll work on it. We'll brainstorm, and then hopefully by the next episode, we'll have like a proper sign off.
Yeah, and I think also a lot of the time in podcasts, if they happen to have like a little their own little like song or something like in the outro, I think it's usually added in post.
Yeah,
Um, mm, we'll figure it out.
yeah. No, I'm gonna look up music after this, and it's gonna sound great.
Okay, swag.
Swag, swag. That can be our outro. Swag, swagging it.
Swagging it.
Swagging it. Okay. Okay. Um,
And remember, dear listeners, keep swagging it.
keep swagging it. Okay. Cool.
I have an outro.
Yes.
I want it to be something like, may all your foes be damned.
I don't know about that. That sounds really like, is the FBI gonna come to my house and be like, "What's this about? You're spreading communism and threatening your enemies. What's going on here?"
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Thank you everybody for listening. This is Lauren and